What's up, everybody? Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Kerbal Space Program. When we left off, we'd been working with planes again. We did a little bit of a transkerblantic flight, but I found that it really didn't give us what I wanted, so we're back to the Duna attempts, basically. Let me go ahead. Was it 2? Lock steering. Unlock steering. Anyway, okay. And we'll turn the gears on. Now, we are a little wobbly, and I didn't notice that before. But I've tested this a couple of times. This is the Duna defailer. Ironically, it's the Mark II. So the first one I did was basically this design. It had big thrusters on it, and the thrusters were going longer than these were, and these were set up in an asparagus style, so it was bad. Now, even still, these thrusters are cool, but they still have their fuel tanks that you have to, like, they have their own fuel tanks in here. So even as it stands, these will last before one of these runs out, which is kind of odd. So you either have to go a little ways, or you have to kill the thrusters before jettisoning it, because all of this is asparagus except for the lander up here. And I redid the lander. I found that whatever was going on with that vertical angle was really messing everything up, so I went back to the old style, which is basically going to be I'll pop the chutes and land. You can see I have the decoupler. It's hard to see from here, but the decoupler that holds this all together, right there, that's the last stage. So the chutes will pop, the thrusters will go, the chutes will pop, and then in theory that'll slow us down enough we can kind of land on the thrusters. I'm not really worried if they get broke or not, and then we can decouple and lower the rover. So one of the things that I did, I've been reading a lot online and read a couple of people mention that the staging is kind of one of those where fuel is less important than thrust when you're first launching from Kerbin, but it gets more important than thrust as you get out in the atmosphere. So basically what I did was I put my bigger fuel tanks. Actually, now that I think about it, I did it wrong anyway. The idea was going to be the smaller fuel tanks, bigger thrusters, and then move up, but that didn't really work very well. So I ended up stair-stepping it to where you have all the big thrusters and fuel tanks, and then to minimize weight, we have the second stage thrusters and fuel tanks, and then the last stage is really small thrusters with some bigger fuel tanks. So hopefully we'll have enough fuel this time. But at least this way we're angled to where, let's keep our tab open, at least this way we're angled to where even if we get to this stage, when we get to Duna or whatever, we should still be able to actually burn for once in our lives. So let's get this show on the road. And I have tested this one. It's relatively pretty stable. I know that sounds fishy, but it's not. Like, it goes pretty far, and I haven't had this move off its center point. But if we watch this close, we'll get a good example of what I was talking about. And I'm watching this. The last time I launched this, it stops halfway, so we may not have to dial back our thrust. I'm not sure. But you'll see these are the ones at the bottom. Here. So these are going to run out and these are still going. So I have to watch the speed and determine whether or not we're going to keep these going or whether or not we're just going to shut them off and then drop them. Let's see what happens when these give out. Okay, we're still gaining. So since we're still gaining, I think we're going to go until these drop and then we'll start asparagusing. I think. Let's do a quick save, just in case. Okay, we're doing good. We're still gaining, and we're at 6,500. Now these will kill. Unfortunately, we'll lose all of them at one time, which isn't good, because, yeah, we're slowing down a lot now. hoping we can get through the heavy atmosphere before we lose all of that speed entirely. I really should have set, had I known, I really should have set these up with couplers to drop them, but I didn't know they were going to do that. Come on, we need to hit that threshold where we start gaining more speed. Preferably before we start losing altitude. Oh, we're almost there. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Okay. So now we should be gaining. And I think... Ah, crap, we're losing more speed again. See, I don't know if we can make this or not. I think we'll be okay. I hope. And I think last time I had determined that it was better going to Duna to just burn. Wait, why are we... Why is our periapsis off now? What are you doing? Roll back over. Don't start getting all screwy on me now. Crap, man, we're kind of like stalled because we're crawling here. We're burning all of our fuel just trying to keep our speed up. This isn't good. I had tested this before and it worked so much better. Okay, we're not losing altitude yet, which is good. Come on, pick up speed. Why is it still losing speed? I really should probably set these up with decouplers then. Or jettison them earlier, maybe? I don't know. And I can't tell what's making it curve now. This is kind of funky. Like, why is our procreate way over there? I don't understand. Get back on course. Wow, we're idling at just 81. Awesome. Okay. One of these days, people. One of these days we will get to Duna. Eventually, if I can ever get out of Kerbin's atmosphere. This place is just a bear to get out of. Like, we don't even need half of this stuff. We just need to get out of the atmosphere, and it's so difficult. Like, I don't really even know how much fuel we'd really need to do. I mean, I did... The last one, I did on just one whole stack of engines. Or one of these engines with a booster. Oh, come on. Why are you slowing down? You should be out of the atmosphere, or close to it at this point. Well, not out of, but you know what I mean. Close enough to where it shouldn't be slowing us down this much. There we go. Come on, baby. Come on, climb. No, stop descending. Crap. Emergency measures. Let's do this the other way. I was hoping not to do this. Crap, I'm screwing up my orbit. How are we still descending? Alright, come on. This is very frustrating for me, though. Because it's like, I could get to Duna if I could just get out of Kerbin. But Kerbin's atmosphere takes so much fuel to burn through that it's just taking forever to get out of here. I wonder if I should be doing a gravity turn. I probably should. I'm probably being stupid and not doing a gravity turn. Where do we get an escape path? There we go. That will do. Let's roll it over. See, now we're picking up speed. I probably lost like 3 of my engines already, though. Yep. One of them. Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna work or not. This could be bad. This could be bad. I was really hoping to get out of Kerbin. What I might do, what I may end up having to do, is use the original model that I did before and just put this set on there instead of the vertical ones that were making us spin out of control, and maybe I could actually pull off using the smaller thrusters then to get there. I don't know. I really don't. We're going to try it this way. I'm going to follow through with it. Can I? I can always revert the flight, I guess. I don't know if this is going to be enough fuel, though. I should have put these thrusters on the big orange tanks. That probably would have made more sense. I think that was originally what I was going to do, and then I just forgot to do that. Okay, so I'm going to pause it and see where we end up. So I did it again. I was out doing my little burns, not paying any attention to the electrical charge, forgot to put my solar panels out, and I ended up on a Kerbin escape approach with a dead battery. So we're at it again. This time I'm going to try and do it a bit more... whoa, 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 what the heck? What just happened? I did it the same way I did it before. I just turned the engine on, turned the SAS on, and launched. Why did it blow up? What happened? SAS on, throttle up. Okay. Do I have to do the brakes and everything make that big of a deal? Maybe? I don't understand what that was about. What is going on? Okay, for real, dude, what is happening? What is happening? It did not do this before. You guys watched it. It launched. It went fine. This defailer is not living up to its name very much. What is happening here? I don't understand. Did the staging get mixed up? No, it's there. Okay, oh, that's there. What is happening that's making this thing crash into itself for no apparent reason? What is happening? It's doing it again! Oh my gosh. Okay, seriously. You all saw the very first launch that I did. It went smooth as silk. It went fine. Why is it blowing up now? I don't understand. Is it... I'm confused. Everything is where it should be. Okay, let's just keep a close eye on it, I guess. What? What just happened? One of the thrusters just completely blew up. What? I'm so confused. How did I launch it perfectly the very first time, and all the times before that, and now all of a sudden it's like blowing up every single time? What is the... Go away, Nabal. Okay, all the thrusters are there. What is What is happening right now? No, I don't want orbit speed. I don't know. Okay, so I reverted it back to assembly and didn't do anything because I don't see anything wrong with it. But I'm hoping that clears it? Maybe? Okay. Now it's fine. What the heck? It makes no sense. Okay, so pretty much what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna try. Actually, let's turn these on. No, not the mystery goat. No, stop it. Okay. What I'm gonna try and do is what I should have done last time, and that's when we start to hit like a certain altitude, do a gravity turn, and hope that maybe I won't spend so much time fighting the gravity, and I'll have more of an arc. Maybe? I'm hoping. I don't know, man. I really don't understand what you're supposed to do, to be honest. Because it seems like every time I have enough thrust to get out of the atmosphere, I don't have enough fuel to get where I need to go. And anytime I have enough fuel, I don't have enough thrust to get out of the atmosphere. So I'm kind of genuinely confused about like what you're actually supposed to do to get to the really far places like Dune. I guess if this doesn't work, I think my next attempt is I'm gonna basically try and build this in space. This is the next thing I can think of. It's like the only thing I can think of I haven't tried yet is actually building the thing in space. Like little at a time, each fuel tank or something. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna try and get to about 15 kilometers and then turn to give us some more altitude to work with. I don't know if we're gonna get there or not at this rate. Although, I'm not really sure this is gonna help at all, because if it's having problems getting out of the thicker atmosphere, then turning won't be as efficient as going straight up in terms of fighting the gravity, I wouldn't think, but I don't know, I'm not an orbital person. I don't understand all this sciencey stuff. I know enough to make me dangerous. Okay, come on, Bessie. Just get up to 15. Let's turn on RCS and do a rollover. And hope we don't get pulled back into the atmosphere, because that would not make for a good day. Stable position. Why are we wobbling? I don't know. Okay. Now we kind of seem like we're on a good track. Why this is wobbling, I don't understand. Oh, I probably should have put like an SAS module or something in here somewhere. Now that I think about it, I don't think I have one. See, our speed's increasing, but our altitude is just barely crawling, because we're pretty much going sideways. It says we're going up. That smoke trail looks like we're going down. Because we're going down. Awesome. See, it doesn't have enough lift, and I don't understand why. Ah! Screw it. We're doing this again. No. You go too. Because we need to get out of here. Or we could just keep falling. That makes sense. We're just gonna keep descending. Awesome. Okay, so we're with the, Defailer Mark III, which is basically just nothing except the little lander module. So what I'm going to try is kind of what I had talked about doing before, which is doing like a bigger tank with a smaller thruster kind of thing, something like this, and seeing how this would actually end up working. And then we'll do like let's see, we'll do a decoupler here, and then we'll use smaller tanks and put the bigger thrusters. Maybe this will work. I don't know. How much is this? This is 1440 and this is 2880. So this is like 2 of them. So it wouldn't behoove us to do 2 of these really, because you might as well just do 1 of these orange ones, apparently. I really just can't see this working, to be honest, but I suppose it's worth a shot. I mean, everything else is failing, so I'm gonna finish doing all this stuff and doing like the asparagus staging and all that, and I'll be back and we'll test it out and end it maybe there. Okay, so this is the Duna Defailer Mark III, which I do think is more than ironic that, you know, you name something the Defailer and then you have to do it 3 times. So what I did was a set of these thrusters, right? Since they kind of have their own fuel, but they have their strongest thrust just to get it initially going. Then we've got an asparagus staged, one of these little guys with the biggest thrusters, or the second biggest, and then we've got the bigger fuel tanks with the 3rd largest thrusters, and then we go to the medium fuel tanks with the little tiny ones. So let's see how this goes. We do have lift, which is good. We're not blowing up randomly for no reason. Let's turn the brakes on. Set that. Not that I'm even sure it makes that big of a deal. Save it just because we can. Now we are slowly gaining, but it's actually doing pretty good. It's actually doing really good. Considering the fuel thing. Actually, these little dudes are pretty beasts. They've got a pretty decent amount of fuel on them as it is. Okay, so we're through the tough part. Well, that's roughly about 10, I think. Dang, I really didn't think they would last that long. I kind of figured it was more of a burst, but it got us up to 5 kilometers. So apparently less is more. Okay. Oh, we were burning through this so fast, though. That can't be good. I don't know, I guess it's not necessarily bad. The question is, can we maintain our thrusts and altitude and all that good stuff with the limited amount of fuel we've got going on? Come on, I need you to get me through this part. Right here. If you can do that for me, we'll be good. I think. I hope. What is this, anyway? Is it 15? That's the high part of the atmosphere? Or is it... Oh, it looks more like 13 kilometers. Okay, we'll get to 15 and start our turn. And then cross our fingers and hope we have enough fuel. Really didn't want to jettison while I was rolling, but I guess it doesn't make a difference. Okay, get on target. Oh, we're starting to lose speed now, though. Crap. Crap, man. Why does everything have to not get us through the atmosphere? Oh, and why am I rolling now? Why is every ship I ever designed spins uncontrollably for no reason? It just rotates. Why are you rotating? I didn't tell you to do that. Oh, we're gaining now that we're going to lose this engine. Good job. Although that's gaining downward. Dang it! See? I cannot get anything that could get to Duna up in the air. Like, nothing I try will ever get in the air. It always drops. Stupid curb and atmosphere. I think I'm still dropping. No, we're actually climbing, but we're only at 20. I did better with my moon ships that didn't need all these big tanks. Good. Now we're just at a steady horizontal incline. Yay. Now watch, I'm just starting to get altitude. I almost guarantee you I'm going to drop these and I'm going to lose it. Once this hits 0. Surprisingly not at the moment. But I mean, look at how slow we're going. This will never make it. I don't think. I mean, we're clicking away at like 100 meters. It's like not even doing anything. I mean, there's our smoke trail. We're basically flying sideways right now. Like, we're barely inclining at all. What is our orbit even doing over here? Yeah, it's like not doing anything. Alright, I'm gonna call this a failure. I know I have enough fuel that I could burn for a while, but we're just not going anywhere. Like, it's gonna take all of this fuel to get us out of the atmosphere. So I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna end the episode, and I'll leave it... I need suggestions or something, because nothing I'm trying that has the capacity, in my opinion, to get to Duna is working. Like, I can't get something that heavy out of the atmosphere, so I need your guys' help and input on this to let me know what you guys think on what I could do, what I should do. Feel free to link articles, pictures, whatever, anything that might help, like, hey, use this design or something to try. And in the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you next time. Peace!